Hi, today we'll do a species spotlight. It's gonna be Nepenthes veitchii. Everybody knows it. It's a flared peristome. That's a great species for Windowsill. So let's jump in. Hi, my name is Remy and I love Nepenthes. First, let's go to Wikipedia. Nepenthes veitchii. On Wikipedia, we can tell that it's from Borneo. What else is important here? Nothing, okay. Lowland forest, yes. 1,600 meter elevation, that's intermediate. So it's from lowland to intermediate and then epiphyte. On that, I'm not totally sold, but okay, true epiphyte. Interesting. Okay, I will show you why I'm not convinced it is true epiphyte. On the picture, let's have a look. Oh, and it's related to Rocantlii. So we already know that. That's close to Rocantlii, just darker. So let's have a look on the epiphyte plant. This one obviously grow on the ground. So not really epiphyte for me. Let's check on internet and mostly on Instagram, for example. We see pictures of veitchii growing on the trees, so they look epiphyte. But now let's see carnivoro. We see also some epiphyte picture, but there is one picture that catches my mind, this one. So if we zoom in, we see that the roots are probably growing on the soil, the ground, not on the tree. So it's not a true epiphyte for me. It's more of a climbing species. But I'm getting picky here. So let's move on and see where is this island. Borneo. I wish I could go there one day. So on this map, we see that it's pretty green, so it's tropical. There is a ton of species, Nepenthes species, that comes from this very island. So that's clearly something, if ever you can go there and do a hike, that's probably fantastic. So what does a Nepenthes veitchii require as the temperature, day and night? So Tom's Carnivore's website, obviously, here. So the first half, so from lowland to intermediate. Which is good. For Windowsill, that's great. And you see that some will be able to handle a lot of heat and a lot of cold too. But the one that, for example, will be at 14 at night, the highland one, I don't expect them to handle 35 degrees like the lowland one. So there is lowland species, intermediate to highland species for veitchii. Okay, but what does that mean, this lowland, intermediate, highland? There is three elevation where Nepenthes grows. There is the lowland, close to the level of the sea. It's warm day and night. Then we have the intermediate. It's less warm day and night. It's more like your house. And then we have the highland, where it's way colder at night. So really, it's more of a lowland to intermediate, even if some species will be a little bit closer to the highland. So here is the veitchii I got shipped to me. When I bought it, it's a special clone. Let me show you. That's veitchii Barrio Squat Candy Stripe. So that's a Borneo exotic, Greg's one. It was tiny but healthy. Already a decent size, but the pictures were dead because of the shipping, and then it took its time to start, but now look at it. 3 years later, look at the size of this big baby. That's clearly more than 20 centimeter leaves. The pictures will last forever, so the one that you see that are half dead are probably a year and a half old, so impressive. And the leaves are really nice, always kind of curvy, never straight. What else? When we see the picture opening at the beginning, there is a lot of stripes. It's freshly opened, that's fantastic. But then later, it will age a little bit, being more like that. That's the best moment for me. When it's like that, rolling, all the stripes, it's fantastic. Then it will age again, and it will change the color, more of a orange golden. We still see the stripes, I mean, but there is more red in it, definitely, and a bronze one. And later, this one is at least a year old and still doing fantastic. You see the color. And because if you put them on a pot and don't force them to go up, or they have nothing to go up, they will crawl on the ground. For this reason, if you put live sphagnum on the top dressing of your pot, it will increase the humidity, and for sure you will have great pictures. About those pictures, first, they last a long time. That's very impressive. You can feed them, they won't have any problem, no rot. It's a very strong picture. Then the peristome, obviously, that's why we love veitchii, because it will have a fantastic peristome. It's wild, it's beautiful, there is a lot of details in it if you take the time to have a look. And I know some people will prefer the toothy peristome, but for me, the flared peristome is more what I like. For this reason, veitchii is the way to go. And the body of the picture is really hairy, obviously. Veitchii is known for that. Let me show you better. There is hairs everywhere. On the wings, on the pictures, the tendrils. That's really, really a hairy plant. For this reason, it's able to handle less humidity than other species, because all those hairs will collect the humidity around. And it's even more obvious on the new leaves. The hairs are really, really present, so you cannot be confused with another species. It will have a lot of hair. Look at that. And this is the way the leaves are attached together. So there is no properly a stem. There is no space between the leaves. Every leaves come out of the previous one. And again, a lot of hairs everywhere. Even on the leaves, on the center here, you see a line. There is also more hair there than on the surface of the leaf. On the edge of the leaf, I don't know if you can really see it, there is a lot of hair too, so the edge is really hairy too. What else? The more hair you will have is not on the top or on the edge, actually. It's gonna be under. This is very impressive. There is a lot of hair there. That's probably where most of the humidity is collected, and it will pass that to a lot of the hybrids. And really, the hairs are everywhere. On the tendril, there is a lot of hair too, and the new picture, not opened yet, will almost looks like a baby gorilla. That's I love the shape of the head. It's super hairy. There is this spear that is also hairy. Oh, and there is a few colors for the veitchii, obviously. This one is a more yellow one. It's a cross. It's veitchii stripes by veitchii yellow. And you won't have this orange. And as you see, it's not that squat. So it's longer, but with a different color. And that's probably one of the reasons why you can have a lot of different veitchii and not being bored too much. Because this one is totally different. Taller peristome, but more squat body. The other one is the other way around. And not the same color too, so the shape and the color is slightly different. And for the leaves, the shape of the leaves looks like that. There is not a special thing like the truncata. except the hairs and the tangle, obviously. It will be like quite far from the center, maybe 30 centimeter, 40 centimeter from the center of the rosette. So for example, here I have veitchii pas humor, and it will also have the hairs. But if I compare that with an hybrid, Nepenthes veitchii by veitchii, there is almost no hair. And for a reason, if I check pure veitchii, there is no hair. So obviously, this is where you can have a clue if there is some veitchii or not. Here is another hybrid, Nepenthes shaniana by veitchii. So this one is fantastic also, and under, you can see it, there is a little bit of hairs also. So it's definitely something you want to check. Yeah, here. It's pretty hairy, in fact. And here is veitchii by Mira. Again, you will have a little bit of hairs on the edge, but not that much. And here is veitchii by Maxima, a little bit also. These hairs tend to stick to the hybrid. About the peristome, when it's open, it will be wavy like that, but at some point it will fold back and try to grab anything. For now, you see on the left, it's just naturally rolling back. But on the right, you will see that it's starting to take the shape of the bark behind. So after a few days, a week, something like that, it will be even more obvious. Very cool, right? It's fantastic. It's really grabbing the bark behind, and that's probably how it's able to climb the trees. And when there is nothing to grab, it will just stay this way. But it's a fantastic shape for sure. And I just have another one that freshly opened, different species. That's the cross yellow by stripe, and it will do the same. I just want to touch a little bit on the leaves shape. It will change depending of the origin of the plant, if it's a lowland, intermediate, or barely highland. The shape is not the same, so it's really hard to identify a veitchii, a small young veitchii, just by the shape of the leaves. If you want to know how to grow Nepenthes veitchii on your windowsill, here is a video for you. If you want some veitchii t-shirt, that's on my Etsy shop, and until next time, happy growing!